Some films scare you, some disturb you, but The Night of the Hunter haunts you long after it ends. The story opens in a quiet American town during the Great Depression. At first glance, everything seems peaceful. But beneath the surface, desperation is growing. Ben Harper, a struggling father, is drowning in poverty. In a moment of panic and frustration, he robs a bank and steals $10,000, a fortune at the time. Before the police arrest him, he hides the money inside his daughter Pearl's doll and makes his two children, John and Pearl, promise never to reveal where it is hidden, not to anyone. No matter what happens, Ben is arrested and sent to prison, where he shares a cell with a strange man named Harry Powell. Harry Powell is no ordinary criminal. He calls himself a preacher. He speaks about God, sin, and salvation. On his knuckles are the words love and hate, symbols of the battle he claims exists in every soul. But Powell is a wolf in sheep's clothing, a manipulative serial killer who marries lonely widows, steals their money, and murders them in the name of cleansing sin. One night in prison, Ben talks in his sleep and mentions the stolen money. Powell becomes obsessed. He tries to force Ben to reveal the hiding place, but Ben refuses. Soon after, Ben is executed, but Powell's hunger for that hidden fortune has only just begun. When Powell is released, he travels to Ben's hometown. Pretending to be a holy man sent by God, he charms the town's people with scripture and smooth talk. The town, blinded by religious devotion, welcomes him with open arms. Ben's widow, Willa Harper, is vulnerable and grieving. Powell convinces her that he is righteous, that he can guide her and her children toward salvation. He slowly gains her trust and eventually marries her. But John, the older child, sees through him. John notices the coldness in Powell's eyes. He senses danger. Powell begins pressuring the children for information about the money, especially John. But John keeps his father's promise. After marrying Willa, Powell reveals his true nature. He condemns her for her sinful desires, claiming that women are instruments of temptation. One chilling night, he murders her. Her body is later discovered submerged in a car at the bottom of the river, her long hair floating eerily in the water. It is one of cinema's most haunting images. Now, Powell turns his full attention to the children. John understands they are no longer safe. In the middle of the night, he and little Pearl escape in a small boat, drifting down the river under moonlight. What follows feels almost like a nightmare fairy tale. Animals watch silently from the river banks. The children float through shadows and mist. The world feels unreal, suspended between innocence and horror. Behind them, Powell hunts. One of the most terrifying scenes shows Powell riding on horseback along the horizon, singing the hymn Leaning on the Everlasting Arms. His voice echoes across the night, calm and steady, making him seem almost supernatural, like evil itself cannot be escaped. After days drifting on the river, the children find refuge at the home of Rachel Cooper, an elderly woman who cares for abandoned children. Rachel is strong, wise, and deeply religious, but unlike Powell, her faith is genuine and compassionate. She immediately senses something dark surrounding the children's story. When Powell arrives at her house pretending once again to be a man of God, Rachel sees through him instantly. She recognizes the evil behind the scripture. Unlike the rest of the town, she is not fooled. The final confrontation is quiet but powerful. Powell sits outside the house at night, singing his hymn. Inside, Rachel sits calmly with a shotgun across her lap. To believers in God, but only one truly righteous. When Powell attempts to break in, Rachel shoots him. He survives, but is wounded. The police arrive and arrest him. For the first time, his charm fades, replaced by rage and madness. During the trial, the children testify. Justice is finally served. The film ends during Christmas. The children are safe with Rachel, surrounded by warmth and protection. Rachel looks at them and says, "They abide and they endure. Children suffer, but they survive. Innocence may be haunted, but it can endure."